Today we want to talk about what is possibly the most important prayer you can ever pray, and definitely the most important attitude you can ever have when you pray. I'm Dave Early. We're doing a 21-day prayer challenge. Welcome to day 20. And today we're talking about the prayer, "Have mercy on me, a sinner." Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner. Now, this prayer comes out of Luke chapter 18, and Jesus tells a story. It says in Luke 18, verse 9, he spoke this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised other people. He says there were two men. They went to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. Now, in their mind, Pharisees, the most holy, righteous people, they not only kept the Old Testament rules, but they added another hundreds of rules to the list so that they could be extra righteous, and they looked down their noses at everybody else. Tax collectors, they were considered the scourge of society. They were Jews that worked for the Romans, collecting taxes from the Jews to give to the Romans. The Romans didn't like them. The Jews hated them. They were considered the worst of the worst. So you got, in people's minds, the best of the best and the worst of the worst. They both go to the temple to pray. Verse 11, the Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, or some versions say prayed about himself. God, I thank you that I'm not like other men, an extortioner, unjust, adulterers, or even like this lowly tax collector. Thank you that I'm better than they are. Well, that's his prayer. He says, I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all I possess. I'm better than everybody else. Verse 13, and the tax collector, standing afar off, he didn't feel worthy to stand close to where they were praying, would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven. It means he's looking down, he's beating his chest, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. God, have mercy on me, a sinner. That's his prayer. Notice the result. Jesus said, I tell you, this man, the tax collector, went down to his house justified rather than the other one. Everyone who exalts himself is going to be humbled. Everybody who humbles himself will be exalted. What do we learn from this story? We learn that this Pharisee, he stood up to pray, to be seen. The tax collector, he stood off at a distance and looked down when he prayed. The Pharisee prayed with himself. His prayers weren't going anywhere, and he prayed about himself. It's all about him. The tax collector, he just prayed about his desperate need for mercy. The Pharisee, his prayers are filled with I do this. I'm better than that. I do this. I do that. It's all about him. I. The tax collector, the only thing he said about himself was, a sinner. I'm a sinner. He asked for nothing. He didn't need anything. He was just telling God how great he is. He was just saying it so everyone around him could hear how great he is. He wasn't there to connect with God. He was there to exalt himself. Tax collector, he asked for mercy. I deserve condemnation. I deserve judgment. Give me mercy, please. Well, Jesus said, the self-centered pride, that man, he will one day be humbled. The humbly dependent man will one day be exalted. This man went home justified. There's two applications of this prayer today. One, if you've never been saved, if you've never admitted your sin, and maybe you're a nice person, maybe you're better than some, but we've all sinned, we've all broken God's commandments, we all deserve judgment. The prayer God's wanting to hear out of your mouth is, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. That's the prayer God wants to hear from you. You need to receive salvation. You need to receive forgiveness. You need to be born again. Maybe you have been born again, but you've got sin stacking up in your life, and you need to cry out to God, God, have mercy on me, cleanse my heart. God, forgive me, have mercy on me. The other application of this prayer is this. We need to pray like this man and not this man. Our prayers need to not be full of ourselves. They need not to be full of pride. Otherwise, we're just getting humbled and our prayers aren't going anywhere. Our prayers need to come out of a humble heart, a broken heart, a dependent upon God attitude. And God hears and answers those prayers, and ultimately we will be exalted. Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner. Well, this is day 20. Join us tomorrow as we wrap up our 21-day prayer challenge. I'm Dave Early. If you like this type of Bible teaching, you can follow us on Facebook, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you tomorrow.